Now this is I'm gonna be using this U.S. General whatever diesel compression tool, checker tool from Harbor Freight Tools, $29.99 at my local one in New Orleans. Might be different price than somewhere else. And this is what you get. You get all these different adapters to handle all kinds of different motors. I imagine Dodge, Ford, Nissan, all this crazy stuff. What we're going to use is obviously the actual gauge with the hose. And what you can see right here, again, remember how we had to use the long extension to get in there because the tolerances are so tight. With this, the way this was originally made, right here, this little, I assume it looks like a AC snap type fitting, was just bolted directly to this swivel right here. That didn't work. So what I had to do was get a double female adapter and this long galvanized pipe, 1/8 inch. Put Teflon tape on it, screw it in tight as it'll go. You get, because it's pipe thread, you won't get it all the way in because these are actually straight threads on either end of this. So I just got it in as best I could, and I was able to get a reading that I'm comfortable with, that I can trust, without any leak down. Now we've got that figured out. I bought all this stuff at Home Depot. Really easy. They have, like, you know, it's the little brass stuff in the bags, you know, not a big deal. Now, this is our glow plug, like I showed you earlier, the element where you actually hook the wire to. The important thing here is the threads. Notice that it's fine threads. So we go to here. Look, obviously these aren't going to work. That's not what we're after. So it should be out of these two. You look at these two, and you got one that obviously I've already used. So, and then this one's got same size and everything, but it's coarse threads. Whenever you go to put this in, you just want to check it, you know, because maybe your kit will be different. Maybe your motor's different, I don't know, but you just want to kind of try to, you stick it in there first, and then you stick your, this is actually going to take an 11mm socket, deep well socket, and just kind of turn a little bit, see if you can get in there as much as you can with your hand without it binding up. Because you don't want to strip out those threads in there, that's a head job and all this crazy stuff. Now we go to the front. So what you're going to do to put it in the glow plug orifice is I found this way best. The needle nose, like so. You get a good grip on it, hold it on. I'm going to start right here on the first one. Remember, it's important that it's best to start on the one that came out the easiest, I guess, because your rocker arms and push rods are already kind of in the way, out of the, you know, in the position where they're out of the way. This adapter from this specific kit takes an 11mm deep well socket to put it in. You don't want to start ratcheting on it at first. You fit it on there, and you just kind of get it turning. Just feel for it. Make sure it's not binding up. Make sure you're not stripping it out. You know, you don't want to. Again, you don't want to have to pull these heads off just whenever you're just trying to check compression. Get it in there pretty snug by hand. Okay, and you're not going to want to kill it. Just go to about like so. 2 turns. Now, just kind of wiggle this out because you don't want the socket falling down in there, and you're good. Now you can see, I guess, the real world application of why I needed to do this. There's no way that this, being just a 90 on here, imagine it like this, trying to stick it in there would not have ever fit. So that's why I had to put this adapter on like I explained earlier. What you're going to do is you're going to slide, wiggle this in here, slide it on. Now it's just kind of on. But you take your finger and you can move the tip of it and, you know, and slide back the little lock with your finger in between the push rod and the mounting bar. And then you'll hear it snap on, and then you just pull on it to make sure it's tight. Now you're ready to check it. Alright, so what we got right here is we got it set up, the compression tester going through the glow plugs. We're going to crank it over about 10 times. The important thing here is that you do the exact same number of revolutions per cylinder, so where you get the accurate reading. If you do 10 on one cylinder and 12 on the other cylinder, you might get the same number, but it's not, you know, it's not accurate. Okay, so go ahead. We're going to crank it over. Alright, so what you can see right here is that it came out to 400 psi, which is brand new spec. So I lucked out, and I've actually got a brand new motor in here. Somebody must have rebuilt it and stuck it in here. So that's how you do that. Done. Now if you have 350 psi, that's like the lowest limit possible, and then you probably want to look at like going to you know, replacing the motor or whatnot. But there you go. Alright, so now we're taking this the tester off. You saw I had a 400 psi reading, which is great. You need to keep going. Just go on to all the other cylinders. Same number of cranks to where you know you stay consistent across the board. To get it off this particular tool, I find you take a small flathead screwdriver, go in between the push rod and the pedestal right here for the rocker arms. Take you want to slide the slide part of the snap tie fitting, put some pressure on it, slide it up, and it should pop right out. And that's the best way to get that off. Now, after you've done all the cylinder tests, you can go. I would check your glow plugs while you have them out, make sure they're all good. Motor will still start without them, especially in warm weather. And then you can start to reassemble it. Alright, so what we have here is my old glow plug, and I wanted to check while I had them out to see if they were working or not. I had my guys at the mechanic shop at on my job site. They checked and this came out to 130 ohms. But one thing they noticed is that the element never got hot. So they checked another one, checked another one, checked another one. All of them never got hot. They didn't really know the specs, and to be honest, I don't really know either. But this element right here should heat up just like an electric stove, glowing hot in seconds. That's what the wait to start deal is on your dash. It's allowing this time to heat up the cylinder so you can have ignition. Now, when you check them, this is like a very low buck way to check them. I just hooked it up to a 12-volt battery. Not a big deal. You're going to want to hook the ground up to the threads because that's where it grounds, and the power side comes to this. You can see how. Alright, now we're running current through it. It doesn't ever get hot. I got an infrared meter right here, and even though we can't see anything, I thought maybe we were just wrong, but no, you can see right here it gets to 77 degrees, so nothing's ever happening right here. And that was on all of them. So I was like, man, there's no way they could all be bad. Well, I don't have a ohms meter or anything else like that, so I got these auto lights, part number 1111, at AutoZone for $9.99 a piece. I went ahead and got 8. And just to check them, I trusted the guys, you know, just to make sure everything was going right. I did the same check on these. And again, this is the element that should be getting red hot within seconds. So, when we do that, I'll go ahead and hook it up to the power source. And you can see this bitch is already getting hot. And if we temperature check it, we have a reading of 675 degrees within like 10 seconds. And it stays hot inside the cylinder grill. That is probably the easiest, lowest buck way I know how to check glow plugs.